Hello, President Trump supporters. You're very welcome to this channel. And by the way, if you do not like President Trump, you might want to avoid this video. My name is KZ. A little about myself first. I'm Japanese living in the US. I was born and raised in Japan and came to the States for college when I was 20. But I fell in love with this country, so I continued my education here and eventually got a doctoral degree in physics, married to love of my life, and have family of my own here in the US. Now I call both Japan and the US my home because not only I have lived in the US for longer than I have in Japan, but also my wife and my children are American. This brings to the point why I am making this video to inform you about this new dual language, meaning English and Japanese base, Facebook group to support MAGA and President Trump. There are three main reasons that I decided to make this group. First reason is I wanted President Trump supporters in the US and also outside the States to know there were many Japanese who supported President Trump to be re-elected 2020. And he was re-elected, without a doubt. But you know what happened. And now, these Trump supporters in Japan are hoping that Republicans who are endorsed by Trump, so I wanted to call them Reds, as opposed to Rhinos, Republicans in name only, to win the midterm to stop the nonsense.
You could take the 5 worst presidents in American history and put them together and they would not have done the damage that Joe Biden has done to our country in less than 2 years. Sure.
And win 2024 election so that Reds take back the control of the government and MAGA making America great again. That's the reason number one. Number two, I wanted Trump supporters in Japan to know what Trump supporters here in the US and also other parts of the world are hoping President Trump team to accomplish for the US and for the rest of the world. I wanted them to know American supporters are saying about President Trump and about midterm election and beyond. And also vice versa, that I want American supporters to know what Japanese people are saying about President Trump and what they're hoping for him. That's the second reason. And the third reason is something to do with our late former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who was assassinated this July. He was our most beloved and respected leader by majority of Japanese from young to old by all ages. This might come surprise to you, or to some of you at least, that President Trump and Prime Minister Abe were actually good friends. And what I mean by friends is not buddy-buddy best friends, but they shared certain moral code and they trusted each other because they had similar beliefs and principles. I want to give you a few examples. Both of them are, unfortunately, one was assassinated, so were conservatives. Of course, Prime Minister Abe was conservative of Japan, so he acted for the national interest of Japan, while President Trump was, of course, conservative of America, so his actions were all for making America great. So MAGA. So naturally, there were differences in their opinions, but both of them wanted the same thing for their countries. What I mean by that is strong economy, low unemployment rate, energy self-sufficiency, bringing back factories and production force, and so on. In other words, both President Trump and Prime Minister Abe were fighting against globalization movement. I say this one more time. They're fighting against globalization movement. And President Trump is fighting against globalization movement, where only financial sector and certain industries profit at the cost of nation, at the cost of us, cost of you. They didn't want that. President Trump said, drain the swamp in Washington, and that's what he exactly meant. The next point is both of them wanted to correct mass media, and as a result, both of them were hated and systematically criticized by the big liberal left-wing medias. Prime Minister Abe completely turned the media into enemy by revising broadcasting law in Japan, while President Trump was also heavily attacked by the media after calling them fake news. Well, because they are fake, right? But President Trump successfully revealed how skewed our media is and made many of us realize that we can't naively trust what news media says. He also opened our eyes how biased our social medias are too. Another example is that President Trump is the first US president to warn the Chinese Communist Party CCP's action against the US and the rest of the world. Prime Minister Abe had the same stance towards CCP. The free and open Indo-Pacific concept was actually first introduced by Prime Minister Abe and later adopted by President Trump to form wide alliance against CCP. The last example, and this might be one of the most important achievements of both of the leaders, is they brought back the pride of the nation and restored patriotism in people once again. And that's a big deal. But these are direct reasons of why I decided to create the Facebook group. But there is even bigger reason behind, and that is when I watched the final decision of the election on January 6th, I lost my words, my mind. For minutes, then I had this surge of anger because the United States of America was supposed to be the icon of democracy, yet foundation of this country was stolen right in front of our eyes, just like that. Or maybe we had been all fooled by financial and conglomerate tyrants since the time FRB, Federal Reserve Bank, was formed in 1913. That's, by the way, 100% private-owned bank, yet it has the US dollar issuing power over the government. I don't know. But I was very, very mad seeing democracy destroyed before my eyes. I wanted to do something about it, but I'm not a politician, nor a big-time business tycoon like Elon Musk. All I have is this analytical skill based on data and Japanese-American background. So I started making YouTube videos in Japanese to raise awareness. But since the midterm is coming up in this November, and the 2024 presidential election is just around the corner, so I decided to make this Facebook group to support MAGA and President Trump. So I would like to invite you to join us and share your opinions and your thoughts. The Facebook link is in the comment section, so please check it out. I know this is a small step forward, but we can't stay quiet. We need to continue voicing our opinions. Alright. I hope I see you guys at the Facebook group discussion. Talk to you soon.